9. It's 10th April, Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. GST and 11 a.m. IST. A very auspicious morning. And with this, I would like to call this joint meeting between UAE Advanced Toastmaster Club and Mumbai Speaker Toastmaster Club to order. I'm Walter Crasto, and it's my pleasure to the first speaker, Sa, for this blissful meeting. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, wishing you most and more. A warm welcome to our first joint meeting, UAE Advanced Toastmaster Club, meeting number 184, and Mumbai Speaker Toastmaster Club, meeting number 54. Let's work together to bring best out of us. On this note, let's begin with the Zoom guideline. Those who are having access to share button, please do not click on the share screen in error. Keep yourself on mute. Please keep your camera switched on so that our speaker can enjoy the virtual stage experience. However, if you are moving around or if there is a background movement, please switch off your cameras to avoid any distraction to the speaker. As far as possible, speakers and evaluator, please keep your camera at your eye level. Please contact me or Zoom Master separately if you are facing any connection issue or technical issues. When you are speaking, try to switch off the notification sound to avoid any interruption in your speech. Please rename yourself. If you have taken any role in this meeting, please rename yourself as meeting role _ name or member _ name or guest _ name. For all participants in middle of the speech, audience response. Use reaction button generously to convey your appreciation and applause. Private chats are not really private. They are accessible to the owner of the account. So it is advisable to keep the comments restricted to the meeting underway so that it will be appropriate even if your message are accessed by someone else. Meeting ground rules. Members are requested to refrain from speaking about 3 taboo topics, that is sex, religion, and politics. Please check your audio and video connection before you start your speech. You can say check audio, check video, or you can ask, am I audible and visible? When taking over control, please say thank you. When say over to you when handing over control to another speaker. When you are speaking, please keep the timer screen in your view. Timer will show you green, yellow, and red cards. This meeting is being recorded. We may click few pictures of the speakers while meeting is in progress. If you really don't want your video to be recorded, please inform to Zoom Master and me before you start your speech. Mission statement. The mission statement of Toastmaster Club is that we provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With that, I have come to end of meeting guidelines, and now I know you all are eagerly waiting for the further proceeding of meeting. So without any further ado, let me hand over the control to presiding officer of today's meeting. She is a dynamic and competent leader, mentor, and role model for all of us. No other than President of Mumbai Speaker Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Sudha. So with big round of applause, please help me welcoming presiding officer of today's meeting, Toastmaster Sudha. Over to you, Toastmaster Sudha.
A very warm good morning to each and everyone here, and thanks to the Dubai Toastmasters who have taken a little effort to wake up on a Sunday morning to be present and match our timings and keep it on a Sunday. Thank you so much, everyone. A very, very warm welcome. Fusions are a fad these days. We all know that. And it can be food, it can be music, it can be fashion. And we all like to join the bandwagon to try and test it out. Mergers and acquisitions for all the bankers here is a very common term. Merger, I like that word better than acquisitions. Confluence and collaboration are also very powerful words, and we know the benefits of all of them. Many rivers flowing into an ocean, and that's how the ocean is definitely larger than a river. So in Toastmasters as well, we have a way to do the mergers, fusions, confluence, and collaboration. And today, we are so happy to be organizing and being a part of a beautiful joint venture between the Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club and the Advanced Toastmaster Club of Dubai. Alone, we can do so little, and together, we can do so much. Mother Teresa once said that I can do things you can't, and you can do things I cannot. Together, we can some great things together. So with that, I welcome once again every member of Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club and UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club to this wonderful session, which we are going to witness very soon. Great people achieved everything due to collaborative skills and respecting the team that supported their ideals and goals. As they say, it takes two to tango. We are also today looking forward to a great tango session with two amazing clubs joining together. And I'm fortunate to be the connecting link between the two clubs. Now you might think, how is that possible? So I've already the president of Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club, and to pursue greener pastures. I don't know if there's green in Dubai. Yes, of course there is. The Dubai Golf Club has a lot of greenery there. So pursuing the greener pastures, I did land up in Dubai Advanced Toastmasters Club, and I've been a member of that club as well. It was a blessing in disguise when Advanced Toastmasters also agreed to the request for a joint meeting. And they even agreed to change their regular timings and make it on Sunday. So why not take advantage of this beautiful opportunity and let's tango together. Are there any guests in the meeting? If I can just make a round of introduction from the guests, please.
Yes, hi, good morning. My name is Deepa. Am I audible?
Yes, Deepa, you are audible, but I can't see you.
Yeah,
sorry.
The video is on as from my end.
Yes, hi, Deepa. Hi. How are you?
You can see me, right? Yeah,
Very
hi.
good morning. And which part of the world are you from?
I'm in Dubai. I was introduced by Ms. Priya Ramachandran, and I'm totally new to this concept. So I want to know what is this all about, and I want to experience some new things. Let's see how it goes about.
Sure.
And thank you for adding me in this meeting in the last moment.
Our pleasure, Deepa. Welcome, a warm welcome to the meeting. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy the session because not only because of Toastmasters, it's a very unique Toastmaster meeting that we're having today.
Okay,
welcome. Are there any other guests if I'm missing out, please? Varta. Is Varta a guest?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh, yes, area director.
Oh, okay. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Varata.
Good
Nice
morning.
to have you here. Do you have any few words to say about joining the session today?
Well, I saw that it's a joint meeting. Then I haven't attended UAE Advanced Toastmasters meeting for some time. So I thought I have time today. So yeah, I thought of joining and listening to the speeches only for a little while. Then after the speeches, I will have to log out.
Sure, definitely. I remember interacting with you for the area contest. Yes, I do remember having you there. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
So without much ado, and I hope I've covered all the guests in the meeting today, it's my pleasure to get on to the introduction of the key man of today's meeting. He is our ExCom member. He is also the treasurer of our club. He keeps all the funds intact for the club. A natural storyteller, a winner of many humorous club contests. He always brings a new twist to any role that he plays. And we all enjoy watching him he's a total joy of our club. Someone who challenges monotony and adopts new ways to engage with the language and bring out the best in public speaking. So let us all put our hands together to welcome the treasurer, the founder member, and today's TMoD Toastmaster Joy.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Sudha. Thank you for all those kind words.
Over to you.
All right, so my wife was working from home. So she came to me the other day and she said, can you power down your IPL trumpet to an all-time low? I have a high bandwidth meeting in some time. And I was like, high bandwidth meeting, so what is that? Do you want like extra Wi-Fi? Should I turn the antenna routers towards you? So she said, no, Dumbo, a high bandwidth meeting. So it's like a strategy meeting with, the CXOs on Zoom. She didn't actually call me Dumbo. I know you guys are stuck at that, so move on. Okay. The high strategy meet is not what she called at first. She called it a high bandwidth meeting, right? And you know what I was thinking, right? This is good, this is content. So I immediately turned off the television and I grabbed my Toastmasters book of speech notes and I went ahead and sat in one corner just to go ahead and make notes. And after 2 hours of sitting there in that meeting, I realized the difference between a strategy meet and a difference between, a high bandwidth meeting. And this is one thing. It is nothing but sophistication. Yeah, so you have a bunch of cubicle workers who get together and start spewing buzzwords, jargons, phrases, cliches, and whatnot, like, run it up the flagpole and let's not boil the ocean or drill down and low-hanging fruits. The kind of stuff that makes you want to, have your own high bandwidth meeting, right? So here we are. This meeting is no longer a Toastmasters meeting. Yeah, ew, that's so rank and file. By the way, rank and file is what you call your frontline employees, more like common man. So no longer a Toastmasters meeting. Yeah, this is more like a synergistic, collaborative, high bandwidth meeting of the Mumbai Speakers Club and the UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club, right? UAE Advanced. Advanced, that already sounds high bandwidth to me. Toastmaster Sudha, are you taking notes? We need to sound advanced as well. Maybe add something like Mumbai Cutting Edge Speakers Club, or we can make it even more graphic. Let's say Mumbai Bleeding Edge Speakers Club. I think that will be a collaboration of equals, right?
We'll have a new christening ceremony, fellow.
Yeah, so we need a rebranding exercise, please. All right. So, anyways, that's what good public speakers do, actually. People who are blessed with the gift of the gab, the C-suite executives. They love to use idioms, phrases, expressions, sayings, because it makes language more colorful and mysterious. By the way, if you happen to go out and use language incorrectly, which a lot of people do, it still makes it pretty colorful and mysterious. I just want to give you an example. So a few years ago, my boss in a meeting, which had about 20, 30 people, instead of saying, I don't want to go around the bush, she said, I don't want to go down the bush. Now that phrase doesn't exist, okay? I mean, you can go down a rabbit hole, but you can't go down the bush. That phrase conjures a different image in my mind. Yeah, so it's no longer a phrase. Now it's a slang. Yeah, so I had to excuse myself from that meeting to laugh that off. So in a manner of speaking, we are raising the bar. Yeah, so the subject of phrases, idioms, expressions is a little too vast. It's colossal. So there's no way to cover the whole shebang or the whole 9 yards in one session. So I'm going to go ahead and stick to pretty much the buzzwords that are used in corporates. Okay, so we'll do that by involving everyone since we are a large group here. I feel all of us can go ahead and contribute. All of us can go ahead and share your experiences, your learnings. And this way we will all be able to go ahead and add value. All right, so here we go. Let's get the ball rolling. I'm going to go ahead and call one random name, And all you have to do is, I'm going to share my screen. You will see a phrase on the screen. You have to tell us what it means. And if you don't know what it means, that's fine. You have to go ahead and take another random name from any of the participants here, okay? So the first random name happens to be Toastmaster Praveen Narayanan. Toastmaster Praveen Narayanan.
Great, Mr. Joy De Silva, Toastmaster. I have joined this meeting after probably a year or so, or even more. Good that you call me. Let's see let me try what you're asking me to
With
do.
Toastmaster Praveen, there are only two things that can happen. Either you will never be back in this meeting, or you will love this and never leave it.
No. I am a long-term guy. Definitely, I'm a long-term. Whatever happens, I will be there.
Okay, here you go. So you will see, are you able to see my screen firstly?
Yes, buzzword and what it means.
Absolutely. This is your word.
Yes, let's circle back on this. So in my opinion, what it means is, let's highlight this particular point and then concentrate on this and work towards it is what I feel. When you circle back, it is something where you are trying to point on that particular subject. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. It's instantaneous. Spurt.
Okay, nevertheless, you gave it a shot. And what it actually means is we will revisit this topic later.
Okay.
All right, so you will get more chances, Toastmaster Praveen. I need you to go ahead and pick another random name, please.
Sure.
Toastmaster Praveen, you are on mute. Toastmaster Praveen, are we going to circle back on this?
On this particular topic, you need to give me a topic so that we can circle back on that.
Okay, so let's go ahead and park that for now. And can you go ahead and pick the next name, please? All right, I don't think I'm being very, very clear. Toastmaster Praveen, out of the 35 people that are present in this meeting, can you call out one name, please? Any random name, please call out any name.
Sure. I would call out Sandeep Kinge.
Okay, so Toastmaster Sandeep, this is your buzzword.
Right. After careful consideration, we have decided to pivot. Okay. So I think this is something like focusing on a point, or to work towards that point.
Okay, well, that's your answer. It actually means to change direction. To pivot
Right.
means to change direction. Nevertheless, Toastmaster Sandeep, if you could pick the next name, please.
Priya Ramachandran.
Okay, are we ready? Toastmaster Ramachandran, you said, right?
Priya. Yep.
Okay, do I see Toastmaster Ramachandran? I don't see him. Okay, yeah, hi, Toastmaster Priya. This one's for you.
Let's not waste time on this.
Wow, absolutely. Yeah, so let's not do something that is going to be a waste of time. Totally. Great. Toastmaster Priya, if you could pick up the next one, please.
Yeah, Shomu.
Toastmaster Shomu, did you say? Okay.
Yes.
So you mean Toastmaster Soumya?
Sorry, I called out his pet name. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So Toastmaster Soumya, we are unable to hear you. Are you talking to us? We are unable to hear you.
Should I call some other name in the meantime?
Yeah, sure, please.
Srivalsan.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Okay, I'm here.
Sri Walson, okay, distinguished Toastmaster, here's your word. This idea won't scale.
It won't scale means you can't be measured, or this won't go off. It will not fly.
Totally, yes, absolutely, that is correct. So it will not lead to growth. We'll come back to, thank you, Toastmaster Sri Walson. Coming back to Toastmaster Soumya, can you say something now, just to make sure you're audible? Okay, Toastmaster Soumya seems to be struggling with his audio. So going back to Evaluator, Toastmaster Sri Walson, could you pick the next name, please?
Let me see the names. 1 minute. Can have Toastmaster Pooja Singh.
Okay, Toastmaster Pooja, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. And this one's for you. Can I pick your brain for a second?
Can I pick your brain means pick up your thoughts, ask about what do you think about certain topic.
Wonderful. Well done. Yeah. So it's all about asking questions, getting to know the insights. Very well done. So next name, please.
Let's go to, let's say, Babu, Toastmaster Babu.
Toastmaster Babu, nice to have you here. So Toastmaster Babu, are you ready?
Yes, Mr. Joy De Silva.
Okay, so this one's for you. By the way, how is this going to move the needle?
How is it going to move the needle? How is it going to affect the consequences or shape the result?
Wonderful, pretty much, yes. So we're referring to the metric or the KRA that is being used. So we want to know if it's going to go ahead and lead to any kind of improvement. Wonderful, well done, Toastmaster Babu. Could you pick the next name, please?
I can't see many. Is Toastmaster Walter there?
Yes, Toastmaster Walter.
Yeah.
Okay, Toastmaster Walter, this is for you. We need all hands on deck.
So I think we need all hands on deck. That is, I believe everyone should work for this. Everyone should contribute for this.
Well done. Well done. Okay, so everyone needs to be involved. Toastmaster Walter, if you could pick the last name, please.
Toastmaster Vishal Shah.
Toastmaster Vishal Shah, are you ready?
Yes.
And this one's for you. Let's table this.
Come to an agreement.
Let's launch it.
Let's launch it. Okay. Well, actually, it means let's digress. Let's talk about something else. We can come back to this a little later. But well done. Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we'll do a little bit more of this a little later. Okay. So getting down to the brass tacks of this particular meeting, I have to explain the structure for everybody for the benefit of the guests, especially. So it's divided into 3 parts. The first is the prepared speech round, where we have our members delivering speeches based on their projects and parts that they have chosen. The second part is the table topics round, where members can practice thinking and speaking on their feet, also known as the impromptu speech section. So guests are welcome to participate in this round. And the third part is the evaluation, in which all the prepared speeches, as well as the other aspects of the session, will be evaluated by the general evaluator. All right, now, since we are speaking in phrases and idioms today, I've taken the liberty of rebranding a few role bearer names. All right, so fellow Toastmasters and guests, to make sure everything moves like clockwork, please welcome our whistleblower, Toastmaster Vishal Mehta. So Toastmaster Vishal Mehta, can we have him under the spotlight, please? All right, Toastmaster Vishal Mehta, before you go ahead and explain the rules for the day, here's a question for you. Would you rather sleep around the clock or work around the clock?
I think I would do like a mix and match, because either one, if I pick one, I would probably get bored working too much, or if I sleep too much, I'll probably get bored sleeping too much as well. So I think I'll go with the mix of both if that's an option available.
Sure, we should go ahead and create our own option, so why not? All right, so for those of you who don't know, around the clock is like a 24/7 kind of a thing, and it's a pretty well-known phrase. So thank you so much for that answer, Toastmaster Vishal. And if I could please request you to share the timer guidelines.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Joy. Steve Jobs said, my favorite things in life don't cost any money. It's really clear that the most precious resource we all have is time. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Vishal Mehta. As a timer, I will be helping the speakers to express their thoughts in their allotted time limits. So as a timer, my role is to clock the prepared speeches, the table topics, and the speech evaluations during this meeting. To help me with my role, I have a set of 3 timer cards that I will display. The first card is the green card, as hopefully you can see it. Yep. So basically the green card means that the time allotted, notice that the qualifying time for your speech. And after that, we have the yellow card, which indicates target time for your speech. And then we have the red card, which indicates maximum time allotted to you. Yep. So for the prepared speeches, we have time between 5. I'll show the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. We'll have a grace period of 30 seconds on either side of the time limit. And I will present my timing report when called upon by the Toastmaster of the day, Joy. And I believe today we also have icebreaker. So just to give you a quick guidance on the timelines for the icebreaker. So the icebreaker, I will show the green card at 4 minutes, the yellow card at 5 minutes, and the red card at 6 minutes. Also, let me give you a quick brief on the other aspects of the sessions as well. For prepared speeches, we have time allotted. We encourage everyone to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. I will show green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 2 minutes. For table topics, we only have a grace period of 30 seconds on the upper side of the time limit. And in the last session for the speech evaluations, is normally the time allocated for that is between 2 to 3 minutes. So I will show green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. In speech evaluations, we'll have a grace period of 30 seconds on either side of the time limit. And I will present my timing report when called upon by the general evaluator. So with this, I wish all the best to all the speakers and pass it back to Toastmaster of the day, Joy. Over to you.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. Now to evaluate the R's and ums and the grammar in our speech, please welcome our foot and mouth inspector, Toastmaster Darshan Shah. An articulate and suave Toastmaster. He is the current Vice President membership at UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Darshan, before you explain the rules, here's a question for you. Would you rather be rolling in dough or roll on the floor laughing?
I'll rather roll on the floor laughing.
Okay, all right, well, that shows you are not money-minded. So for those of you who are wondering, rolling in dough actually means rolling in money, and rolling on the floor laughing, I think we kind of use that a little more often than not. Right? Okay, so Toastmaster Darshan, request you to kindly share the guidelines, please.
All right, sure. Thank you, Joy, for giving this opportunity, and a very good morning, everyone, and welcome to this meeting. Well, I will be taking role of an R counter and a grammarian today. As an R counter, I will be taking notes of all the unnecessary filler words which are used by our team. For example, the words are and, all right, well, you know, etc. Those type of words. Basically, I understand that these words sometimes add meanings to our sentences and give us time to think about making up next sentence. But the point is, we try to reduce these words as little as possible to make the conversation relevant. Yeah. So that's the role of an R counter that I'm going to do today. The other role that I'm going to take up is grammarian. So as a grammarian, I'll be listening intently to all the speakers. I'll be paying close attention to all the speakers, and I'll make sure that I'll take a note of all the language usage, the phrases, good grammar, or good uses, or other or misuses of English language. Yeah, any outstanding words used by the team, any quotes, sayings, and all. So I'll take note of it. I'll keep it with me, and I'll present my report once TMoD invites me in the end. So that's all from my end. Thank you. Over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Darshan. Now we have one more role player today. She is the word master. For the benefit of this particular meeting, we are going to call her a wordsmith, and she is Toastmaster Priya Darshani. So Toastmaster Priya Darshani is a homemaker, a BTech in cosmetic technology. She's associated with UAE Advanced since March 2020. Started her leadership journey with the SAR role, currently volunteering as VP PR of UAE Advanced, pursuing level 4 in innovative planning pathway. A selfless, committed, and passionate Toastmaster who has taken her current role of VP Public Relations to new heights. She is a pillar of strength for the UAE Advanced. Toastmaster Priya Darshani, here's a question for you, since you've done your BTech in cosmetic technology. The question is, what is easier, putting lipstick on a pig or putting socks on a chicken?
Oh my God. I don't think anything is easy. I'm sorry, I don't think I can answer this properly.
That's all right. So for those of you who don't know, are you still going to give it a try?
No, it's okay. We can move on.
Okay, so I'll just explain it for the benefit of everyone. You're putting lipstick on a pig is a waste of time activity. Yeah, okay. And putting socks on a chicken, what that means is actually doing something which is really, really hard, really, really complicated. I mean, catching chicken by itself is complicated. Imagine trying to put socks on. So Toastmaster Priya Darshani, requesting you to go ahead and share the guidelines and the round robin, please.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. And thank you so much for the wonderful introduction as well. I'm not that good on it. I'm just learning now. Okay, being a wordmaster of the day, it is my duty to introduce a word of the day and tally the number of times the word is used during the meeting. And I should keep a track whether the word is used properly or not. Let me introduce the word. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, all right. So the word of the day is candor. It can also be spelled as C-A-N-D-O-R or C-A-N-D-O-U-R. The meaning is whiteness or brilliance. It also means freedom from prejudice or malice, that is fairness. It can also be meant by open, honest, and sincere expression. The origin of the word is from late Middle English, that is from Latin language. The word was candor, which means whiteness, and it has been used in since then till middle 18th century. And the word in English that is candid, it has come from that. It resembles a word. Now the synonyms of the word are forthrightness, openness, directness, honesty, sincerity. I would like to give you some examples of usage. One can easily win or lose hearts by his candor. It's always important to appreciate the candor of an employee to build a strong team. Candor is an important virtue in life. I would request everyone to use the word of the day as much as possible during the meeting. And let's have a round robin for the usage of word. May I ask for the volunteers to use the word? Is any volunteer? Toastmaster Devjal?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Go on.
Yes, Toastmaster.
Yeah, I think my wife's candor is the thing that impresses me the most till today.
Oh,
great.
May I?
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
I mentioned it there in my chat box too. Same thing. The candor of Mumbai Toastmasters is very evident today.
Great.
May I, Ward Master?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sure.
Candor of your mind always depicts on your face, your gesture, and in your action. Over to you.
Perfect. Toastmaster Sudha, would you like to? Or else, is there Toastmaster Sarika Shah?
You can say all married men are not candid nowadays.
Is there anyone?
What, Master, may I?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
With candor, I have to admit, it has been a riveting start to the proceedings today by Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Soumya. I would request everyone to use the word of the day as much as possible during the meeting and even after that. Over to you, the candor Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya Darshini. I hope you guys don't get intimidated by the number of papers that you see here with me. I just prepared a one-page brief and the rest of it is introductions. I hope you appreciate my candor. All right, so getting back to our speeches of the day, we'll start with the first speaker for the day. So we have a new kid on the block, Toastmaster Karthik with his icebreaker speech, and to evaluate his speech, we have Toastmaster Devjani Ghosh. Can I call upon Toastmaster Devjani Ghosh? Can you turn the spotlight on? Okay, wonderful. So Toastmaster Devjani, before you flesh out the objectives for our speaker, here's a question for you. Considering our speaker is a new kid on the block, will you be giving him a kid glove treatment, or are you the kind of person who takes no prisoners?
From the second one.
Wow. Toastmaster Karthik, you better be warned. Okay, for the benefit of everyone here, a kid glove treatment is treating someone leniently. So going easy on somebody, that's what a kid glove treatment actually means. That's not what Karthik is getting today, apparently. A lot of people don't know the origin of the word kid glove. So it's got nothing to do with gloves used by a child or anything. Kid is the young one of a goat, apparently. The young one of a goat or a lamb is called a kid, and the gloves made from the skin of that younger one is actually a little soft and tender, and hence a kid glove treatment is like being a little lenient. Somebody who takes no prisoners shows no mercy. Toastmaster Karthik, are you ready?
Yes,
and before you go ahead with your speech, here's a question for you. Since this is your first icebreaker, first speech apparently, have you dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's?
Have I dotted all the I's or crossed all the T's? So I don't know what does it mean.
It just means you've taken care of everything. Careful consideration for pretty much everything.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
wonderful. Yes, I was expecting that answer. So everyone put your hands together for Toastmaster Karthik. Toastmaster Karthik, what's the recipe? What's the recipe, Toastmaster Karthik?
Excuse me, TMoD. Do I have to read?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Toastmaster Devjani. I'm really sorry. How can I forget? You take no prisoners. So can you please first explain the speech objectives?
Good morning, everyone, and special good morning to my target speaker, Toastmaster Karthik. The purpose of Toastmasters Karthik speech is the objective. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Over to you, Karthik, and all the best for your icebreaker.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to repeat your title one more time, Toastmaster Karthik. So Toastmaster Karthik, what's the recipe? What's the recipe, Toastmaster Karthik?
As they say, discipline is a bridge between goals and accomplishment. How I inculcate goals and discipline in my life. Here is my story. As I am 21-year-old, I have been fortunate to achieve some great accolades like a gold medalist in my university, a good badminton and table tennis player, a good zonal level troop commander. But
all this spirit to achieve a great credits came from my father. My father was a clerk and my mother was a school principal. The general trend is that being a son of a mother who is a principal, I would be a good student and a topper of sort, or well-disciplined. But my poor parents had to bear with outlier of sorts. I was the naughtiest, most undisciplined, and maybe most punished student in my school. As they say, you can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. All it started with the sentence that my dad told me in my childhood. During my school times, all my teachers were fed up of me. My principal was on the verge of rusticating me from the school. This was my dead end. But my father requested them to give me the last chance. The last chance was important for me. I used to get a lot of scoldings from my parents whenever such complaints from school came to them. And this time my father was called from the office. So I thought this is going to be the worst scenario ever. I was very much scared by the thinking about what is going to happen next when I reach home. But my father just sat next to me and said, Karthik, this is your life. Whatever you do, you are the custodian of your life and the decision that you make. Responsibility is accepting that you are the cause and the solution of everything you create and enjoy. Karthik, maturity is not by age, but by accepting your responsibilities. Wow. As they say, an unexpected behavior from a known personality lasts forever. I was shocked just because I wasn't expecting something like this. And I was really confused by the surprising behavior of my father, made me a little serious. And I was trying to understand what is happening. So what should I do next? After heavy contemplation, I decided that I have to change my behavior and inculcate good morals and discipline. When I took charge of myself, I learned managing my time to inculcate few healthy habits, learn regularly, and dedicate good amount of time in sports. I started to improve on a daily basis. A whole new perspective of living my life, having goals and handling challenges to achieve them was a new mantra for me. I was candid in my daily routines. I tried hard to become student of the year that year, but I failed. After 2 years down the line in my 9th standard, I became the student of the year in the school. And the principal who was going to sign the rusticating letter was presenting me this honor. This was my first life change phase around. You all might be thinking, how could I transform directly from worst to best? The only answer for this is responsibility. I truly believe giving responsibility to someone changes him significantly. So, parents out here, I quote, the greatest gift you can give to your child is the root of responsibility and the wings of independence. I repeat, the roots of responsibility and the wings of independence. Further, as my journey goes on, I am now in my final year of chemical engineering and aiming to pursue MBA from the top-notch school in India. I want to have a greater fluency in my English language and a good presentation skills. That's the reason I joined Mumbai Speakers Toastmaster Club, to increase my confidence and network with the people having similar goals. Looking forward to learn more than what I expect from this family and contribute more than I could. So Toastmaster, this is my story of recipe of success. What is yours? To you, Toastmaster Joy.
That was indeed very beautiful, Toastmaster Karthik. For an icebreaker, it was quite riveting. So thank you so much. And as the custom goes, we should all be giving him a standing ovation. Everybody, please get off your backsides.
Thank you so much.
Okay, wonderful. Well done. All right, nice to see a bunch of really active guys. Okay, so thank you, Toastmaster Karthik.
Yes, sir.
Moving on.
I was not able to see the timing screen. So
you're doing okay. You're doing okay. We're all
okay,
rooting for
great.
you. We're all rooting for you. Okay, no,
Thank you,
don't
sir.
worry. All right, so moving on. Our second speaker for the day is the up-and-coming rock star of Mumbai Speakers Club. She is Toastmaster Mehek Sheikh. She is a firework, and she will show us what she is worth. This is in her own words, by the way. Anyways, to evaluate her speech, we have distinguished Toastmaster Sri Walsan Balakrishnan. Can I request this? Oh, it's ready. It's ready. So Toastmaster Sri Walsan, here's a question for you. Would you rather be in the company of old wine or an old flame?
Old wine, definitely.
All right, so thank you for that response, Toastmaster Sri Walsan. So for those of you who don't know, an old flame is a former lover. So apparently Toastmaster Sri Walsan has chosen the other. All right, anyway, so thank you. Could you please go ahead and share the speech guidelines for our speaker, the second speaker, Mehek Sheikh?
Okay, Toastmaster Mehek is pursuing from Persuasive Speaking Manual, Level 1, Project 4. The speech is for 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. All the best, Toastmaster Mehek.
All righty, so Toastmaster Mehek, before you start with your speech, here's a question for you. Are you ready? Couldn't hear you. Are you ready?
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are. So the question for you, Toastmaster Mehek, is, would you rather lose your marbles? Sorry, I'm going to repeat that question. Toastmaster Mehek, are you able to hear us?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, so the question for you is, before you start your speech, the question is, would you rather lose your marbles or would you rather lose all your money?
Lose all my money. I'm not losing my marbles. No.
Well done, Mehek. So you can keep your marbles, you can send over the money to me. So for those of you who don't know what losing marbles means, it means losing one's mind. So well done, Toastmaster Mehek. Good choice there. Toastmaster Mehek with her speech titled, Don't Eat Right. Don't Eat Right. Toastmaster Mehek, over to you.
Thank you, TMoD of the day. Candidly, yesterday was the very first time I wanted to run away from a McDonald's restaurant. Last Sunday, we began with the month of Ramadan, where we fast from dusk to dawn, sacrificing food and water. I was out with my friends yesterday, and they wanted to visit a local McDonald's joint. I was reluctant, fasting and all, but decided to go anyway. As soon as I entered the restaurant, I was overwhelmed with the smell and the sight of juicy burgers and crispy French fries. Let me tell you something. At home, when I'm at home, I don't have such cravings. But when I walk into a fast food joint, I start craving all these food. And I'm not even hungry. So these are some phrases. You are what you eat. Eat healthy, stay healthy. The first wealth is health. These are phrases that encourage us to eat right. But are we really eating right? Food is one of the most simple bare necessities to provide us with the nutrition in order to get through the day. But today, the food that we intake, is it really right for us? There are so many additives and preservatives that are present in these instant foods that we eat. Even in the fruits and vegetables that we bring home, there are so many pesticides and chemicals that are used in order to mass produce this food. And because of this, our life expectancy drops to 1/4 of the regular life of the regular human being. Risks of cancer and cardiovascular diseases are more just because we don't eat right compared to any other reasons. the phrase eat to fill your stomachs, not for the tongue, actually pinpoints the problem beautifully. Studies show that an average human being must eat about 2000 to 2500 kilocalories per day. But then studies also show that we don't do that. An average person eats about 3600 calories per day. That's like of extra calories on a daily basis. And our food consumption is so high that even the difference in the calories cannot be worked out by exercise or just eating right. The major issue in all of this is that the rate of production of food and the number of people that are consuming it, these are not balanced. These big companies, Nestle, Maggie, that mass produce these instant foods, they violate so many rules under the Food Acts. But the essence of the issue is that they have no choice. I'm not taking sides or anything. I'm not saying that these companies are doing the right thing. But just imagine, you have to make soup for 20 people to fill the stomachs of 20 people, but have the resources to only fill 5. What are you going to do? Well, if I was in your place, I would have increased the quantity of water, salt, pepper, add oil, add fat powder, add potato starch. Basically, I'm increasing the quantity and decreasing the quality. These tricks are not my tricks. These are some of the techniques that your food producers use. You remember Maggie? Those noodles that were once banned in India. Yeah, imagine now that you're the CEO of Maggie and you're sitting on the top high-rise building and enjoying the view, but you also want to earn profits. I mean, who doesn't? But you also want to fill the stomachs of the entire country and have the resources to only feed a state. This is the situation we are in today, where our resources do not match the number of people that we want to feed. I agree that our consumption isn't the best, but as an upcoming engineer, I do have solutions to these problems. And I promise this is doctor recommended solutions. Fasting. One of the methods that you can instantly take up. Take it from someone who's experienced. Fasting is actually really helpful. I'm not saying just cut yourself off from food. No, eat food, eat the right amount of food, because there are like 3 kinds of fasting that one can try. There is time restricted feeding, where you restrict yourself to a particular amount of timeline when you can eat. So I can decide I want to eat between 6 to 9 during the day, 6 from in the morning till 9 in the night, and then and minusing all those timelines, I will not eat anytime on any other time. The second category is intermittent calorie restriction, where one measures the calories that are present in the food that they already consume, and then they alter their regular meals accordingly, based on how much calories that should go in the body. And finally, it comes the periodic fasting, where you can alternate between eating and fasting depending on you, basically. So fasting, why should we fast? Fasting, I learned from this Ramadan, is that fasting actually cleanses our body of all the toxins, and it forces the mitochondria in the cells to produce energy for the body using the components that are already present. So you're not intaking, you're already using what is already present in the body. This not only makes you healthy, but makes you strong mentally, is because you challenge yourself to stop all the cravings. We have this one mind and this one body, and life is all about how we nurture it, how we take care of it, how we control it, how we decide to grow. And food plays an enormous role in it. And I would like to conclude by saying that I can't control every single detail of my life, but I can surely control what I put in my body. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehek. That is some food for thought for everybody here to be taken with a grain of salt. And moving on, we have a third speaker for the day, Toastmaster Yuvraj. So a Joel in the making, the current Sergeant at Arms of UAE Advance. He sets the tone for every club meeting. And to evaluate his speech, we have distinguished Toastmaster Jayesh with Toastmaster Jayesh. Can we see Toastmaster Jayesh, please? Toastmaster Jayesh.
Yes.
Okay. So, there you are.
Sure.
Right. Okay, since you have the camera off and all, let me go ahead and ask you this question, Toastmaster Jayesh. Would you rather live in a fishbowl or have the memory of a goldfish?
Fishbowl or goldfish?
No, would you rather live in a fishbowl or have the memory of a goldfish? So you want me to explain that first? Let me go ahead and explain that. So living in a fishbowl actually means you have little or no privacy. I mean, you're like on public display kind of a thing, so everyone kind of takes a poke at you. Memory of a goldfish. So goldfish has like a memory of 7 to 9 seconds. So you know something and then you quickly forget it. So you're just quick to moving on. So coming back to the question, would you rather live in a fishbowl or have the memory of a goldfish?
I think it's better to have a memory of a goldfish and forget the adversities that happens around us. And if anything more to it, we will circle back it later.
Well done. I'm glad you used the additional phrase, circle back and all. Yes, I mean, that's the key to happiness, isn't it? Just forget everything that has happened in the past. So thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Jayesh, for sharing that with us. Coming back to our third speaker, Toastmaster Yuvraj. So Toastmaster Yuvraj, can you hear me loud and clear? I am guessing you are the guy with 3 A's. Yeah, so here's a question for you. Would you rather be an average player in an A team or be an A player in an average team?
Definitely the second, A player in the average team.
Really? That was a tricky one. A player in an average team?
I was to think on what do you mean, but if I were to do that, I would forget my own speech. So I just answered promptly.
Okay, well done. Nevertheless, there's never a wrong answer. So yeah, so being an A player is like being really good, being the Sachin Tendulkar, but at the end of the day, if the rest of the team is not performing, you end up in an average team. So that's what it means. At the end of the day, you want to be in a team full of A players. And it has to be an A team eventually, right? So Toastmaster Yuvraj, his speech title is The Guy with 3 A's, The Guy with 3 A's, Toastmaster Yuvraj.
He was a born prodigy. Everybody around him knew that this guy was born to make movies. At the age of 16, he would create his full-length movie with a budget of only around $500 that would be shown at his local cinema hall. With a clear vision in mind, at the age of 26, he would create his first big break in the Hollywood industry, but would fail devastatingly. It was a box office flop. Disappointed, but now ever determined to direct a hit, he later on created not 1 but 2 blockbuster hits, with one even giving him an Oscar nomination for the best director, and regarded him one of the most prominent director in the Hollywood industry. But later on, the success got the better of him. His vision got blurred by the overwhelming fortunes that he was getting. His 4th movie was so miserable, it felt so miserable that he had to flee the country to avoid any sort of backlashes. And 2 things that were common in all of his movies till now, that they were all over the budget and well past the time period given. He even had a bitter relationship with his overworked crewmen. Realizing his mistake, he came back to the country, but now worked under as an employee for his rival director, turned loyal man, turned loyal friend, and a guide. He now had someone, this director now had someone who could say no to him, who acted his guide, who inspired him as a muse, if you could call. Under his guidance, he created the biggest blockbuster hit of 1987, still unrivaled to this day, but now well within the budget and well 10 days before the given time period. He would later on in his career would make such legendary movies on to become the legend himself. One of his movies in particular that I think everyone would know. It is the endless, timeless childhood horror classic, The Jurassic Park. You see, this director, he always had the potential, the magnitude within him to do wonders. But now after meeting his friend, his mentor, what he got was the direction itself. Mentorship is a two-way street. One could easily default to the idea that the mentor plays a dominant role in the relationship. But I believe that it is the mentee's, the protege's role to take ownership in his own growth and development. And with this leads me to the three fundamental A's that defines a mentor. Lucky me, I've got two. Now, every meeting, I learn something new from you all. You guys implicitly, guiding me as your mentors, but I'm sorry. I would have taken the whole speech if I were to speak all of you. So today, 2 is the only number. Going with the first A, approachability. I forgot to mention, these two mentors that I have, they share the same last name and live in the same house. So if I am to approach one, the other one is already in the background. As for if they pick up my call, they sure do. They sometimes cut my call and phone me immediately back for me to avoid any data charges. Mentors, please, I have a Wi-Fi here. And me being 20 years old, maybe paying the Wi-Fi bill is one of the only things I take seriously in my life. So no cutting my calls. So yeah, approachability was never the problem with this too. Second, analytical. This is quite a dilemma. The one mentor gives me articulate presentation of the topic in a well-formatted, structured way, point to point. The phone call doesn't even last 10 minutes, and I've got more than what I have wanted explicitly. The other one, however, the phone call lasts to about 1 to 1.5 hours, and most of the time we don't even speak on the topic for what I have called for. The job gets still done now, by the way, but for in a gossipy way. So yeah, analytical check. The third A, active listening. I would call them for the most ludicrous, for the most tiniest thing possible, and they would still hear me to the last word. No matter where they are, even if they're enjoying a vacation in the weekend or busy in their own work, they would still pick up my call, hear me to the last extent, and show me the way. So active listening with this too, most definitely. From the time I have joined the club and the time till yesterday, the time period is not that much, but throughout the time that I have learned, or I have never realized that I have been mentored by this too, until I had to make a speech on one. For me, it was just like, hey guys, could you please help me out? You see, I mean this in a good way, because this resulted in vanishing the barrier between us, if there was one to begin with, and made me approach to them more easily for the most tiniest or the most puniest results possible. And never for once I realized, or never for once I felt any sort of setback or remorse to call them again for the same thing. I believe the Kinges have this charm on them. I don't know. The fraternity envisions mentorship as a relationship where the individual shares, or the individual with more experience, knowledge, contacts is able to share along what they have to a more junior individual within a certain field. But I believe that this does not stop here. The mentor also knows how to balance sharing their expertise for the protege to learn on their own. And with these three fundamental A's of these two beautiful mentors, they have already shown me the right path to the right door. And they have never shown me how to walk the right path, but rather taught me how to walk it on my own. As the Spielberg puts it, the delicate balance of mentoring someone is not to create someone in your own image, but giving them the opportunity to create themselves. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yuvraj. You deserve an extra A for that amazing speech. Well done. All right, so our fourth speaker for the day is Toastmaster Priya Ramachandran, a leader who walks the talk, an accomplished Toastmaster who has the ability to bring in ready wit and humor in every situation. And to evaluate her speech, we have Toastmaster Sudha. Toastmaster Sudha. So before you share the objectives for our speaker today, here's a question for you. Would you rather have your fingers crossed or have someone wrapped around your fingers?
It depends who's the person whom I'm wrapping around my fingers. I think I would definitely like the second option. I would never want to keep my fingers crossed.
Okay, well done. I hope your family isn't logged in there. So for the benefit of everybody, having your fingers crossed is just hoping, being optimistic and hoping something goes really well, as compared to having somebody wrapped around your fingers. It means total control over somebody. Coming back to our speaker, Toastmaster Priya. So here's a question for you, Toastmaster Priya. And considering the fact that you've already used a phrase, the double-edged sword, as the title of your speech, and I hope I'm not stealing your thunder, but the question to you is, would you consider human intelligence to be a double-edged sword?
Certainly, yes. We have people who invented the nuclear
bomb, yes.
Yes. So that is intelligence.
Of course it is, yes. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Priya. For the benefit of everyone, the double-edged sword means something which has its benefits as well as, the pros and cons, as its damages as well. All right, so here's Toastmaster Priya with her speech titled The Double-Edged Sword. The Double-Edged Sword, Toastmaster Priya, over to you.
I need to read the objective, sorry. It's fine.
Back
Got
to you.
Okay. Good evening, good morning, fellow Toastmasters. And today my speaker is going to be delivering a very important speech, and I'm sure she's a candor of communication already, because the way she probably is going to deliver this speech is also about communication. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a communication plan. The member is completing her project and has spent time developing a communication plan, a well-organized speech about members' experience with some aspect of plan development. She may use any part of the process, including the results of the plan, if the plan has been implemented. And wish you all the best, my speaker, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudha. So one more time, Toastmaster Priya, the double-edged sword, Toastmaster Priya.
My grandfather, my aunt, my mother, all had it, and are no more. My cousins, my brother, they have it. Oh, does my right hand, my left arm hurt? Maybe at times, Acidity, I think heartburn is because of this. Palpitations, oh yes, I have them. And what if it is a heart issue? What if I have to undergo angioplasty? Oh no, will I be the youngest in my family to get one? What? Another actor died of heart attack? Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters friends, especially friends from Majhi, Mumbai. If your heart rates have doubled, you are perspiring, feeling thirsty, don't blame me. Check outside. For Mumbaiites and UAEites, it must be the weather. But if I had you worried in the first 30 seconds, then again, don't blame me. It could be your favorite pastime, worry. The double-edged sword that we always carry with us at all times. In fact, for most, worrying is a full-time job, as if one job is not enough. A double-edged sword, as already explained, is something that has both good and bad parts. And worrying is one such sword that most of us know is not a good habit. However, for many, it is a mental activity that is synonymous with being responsible. Well, as a mother, if I do not worry about my child's education or health, then I'm an irresponsible parent. In kindergarten, as soon as my daughter would return back from school, I would ransack her bag. I gave her 5 idlis, only 2 eaten. Water bottle, not even half a bottle finished. Book, math, notebook is incomplete. Look at her handwriting. Good Lord, is she going to be like me? Terrible in math. In middle school, the worry is only quadrupled. Good Lord, she is like me. Terrible at math, science, social studies, and everything else. What if she fails at life? Well, people like me would be seeing a certain genius in ourselves and relish the effects of this disorder. Indeed, a disorder that has on our everyday lives. We start appearing like victors and role models in our own eyes. We create a what if situation at all times to thwart all problems in an attempt to create newer problems. Let's begin with me. I mean, it's all about me, right? I set my alarm for 4 a.m. each morning. I wake up with a cup of coffee, I check and answer all my emails so that I have extra time when I reach work. I cook, I clean, I wash, close my kitchen by 6:30 a.m., dress up for the day and reach my bus stop by 6:40 a.m. to catch the transport on time. In the pursuit to run the day smoothly and function flawlessly without undue worry, I'm utterly exhausted even before the day starts. Well, indeed, I get my work done ahead of time. But you know what? This pursuit has been sucking the tranquility and beauty of life away, little by little. The incessant palpitations that I had, that led me to the doctor. He ran down some tests and said, guess what? Your wife is now hot property. Hot? But did he say H-O-T? Well, the thing is that I can be an experiment for medicos. I could be put on medication for anxiety, give me antidepressants, give me sleeping pills to calm my nerves, and this treatment can go on for a long time. Is this what I really want out of my life? Hey, I'm not here to preach on In life, we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. So don't worry. Be happy. I mean, most of the guys of my age would have grown up listening to this song. This 7-minute speech of remarkable candor will not change anybody's life because we are trained to worry from our childhood and we'll take it to our graves like my ancestors did. But what you need to remember is that at the end of the day, the world does not function because you worry. It functions despite that. I learned to handle my problems internally and avoided pills. I started diverting my attention towards yoga, drawing, theater, Toastmasters, despite a busy schedule. My daughter today is successfully employed despite her abysmal report card in school. Our problems are not as big as we make them to be. I'm reminded of the words of a famous religious speaker. He says, do you have a problem in life? If no, then why worry? Do you have a problem in life? If yes, can you do something about it? Yes, then why worry? Do you have a problem in life? Yes. Oh, you can't do anything about it. Then why worry? Friends, this double-edged sword is an unnecessary armor we carry with us at all times. And in this pursuit of rooting our responsibilities and finding our wings, we often enslave ourselves with this what if syndrome. I know you would say it is easier said than done, but then hey, why worry when you don't really have to? Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya. What a beautiful message. And I like the sword play. You look like a ninja out there. Okay, so I hope you didn't kill anyone while prepping for this speech. Anyway, so thank you. And before we move on with our theme, let me just go ahead and quickly call out the whistleblower. So whistleblower timer, Toastmaster Vishal, could you go ahead and please let us know if all the speakers qualified for the awards today?
Sure. Thanks, Toastmaster of the Day, Joy. So to be perfectly candor, I did have like internet or maybe my laptop just restarted. So apologies to Toastmaster Karthik, but fortunately I had my timer on my phone, so I have not missed out on that part. So Toastmaster Karthik took 5 minutes and 3 seconds. He has qualified. Toastmaster Mehek took 7 minutes, 24 seconds and has qualified as well. Toastmaster Yuraj just on the borderline, 7 minutes, 30 seconds and has qualified. And Toastmaster Priya, 7 minutes and 18 seconds and has qualified. So all our 4 speakers have qualified. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Joy.
Thank you. That's amazing news. Wonderful. Thank you so much, whistleblower, timer, Toastmaster Vishal. All right, so moving on with our theme for the day, in a manner of speaking. So, idioms and phrases and all these expressions, they are a pretty great way to add flavor to your writing. So, like for example, you can actually be a lot kind and more respectful to everyone when you actually use a phrase. So instead of saying that somebody is actually dumb or stupid, you can go ahead and change it into a phrase by saying, he is not the brightest star in the sky. Okay, or you can go ahead and even add a little bit of humor to that by saying he's a little, or maybe he's a few beers short of a six-pack. Right, so let's continue with this little game that we were playing right at the beginning. We are going to go ahead and change the rules of the game. What you will see now is a picture. And they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So the picture is actually, some kind of a phrase, and you have to identify that phrase which is hidden in that picture. Okay, so I'm going to call out the first name, and then you know the drill. You have to go ahead and tell us what is the phrase in that picture and explain the phrase if you can. If not, then just go ahead and pick the next random name. Okay, so calling out the first random name, we have, okay, I see a few cameras going off suddenly. Is that a sign? Toastmaster Engelbert. Toastmaster Engelbert, can you hear us? Give us a sign, please. Okay, we'll have to go ahead and probably move on. Toastmaster Glenn. Toastmaster Glenn. Okay, so here's what you have to do, Toastmaster Glenn. What you will see is a picture on my screen, and you have to identify the phrase or the idiom from that picture. Are you ready for this?
You can give it a try.
Okay, wonderful. I like that. So here's my screen, and here's your picture.
Is this like think out of the box?
Wonderful. Well done, buddy. So you are somebody who doesn't stick in the box. So well done. Can you pick up the next name, please? Before that, would you like to explain it? I know it's a very cliched phrase, but would you like to explain what think out of the box means for the benefit of everyone?
I think just deviate from the normal, go, yeah, something on those sorts.
Yes, absolutely. Just moving away from conventional thinking. Great. So can we have the next name, please?
Okay, can we have, let's see, Toastmaster Sarika?
Toastmaster Sarika. Toastmaster Sarika, are you ready?
Yes, yes, Toastmaster Joy.
This is the picture for you.
Ah.
It'll be a huge irony if you miss one.
Oh, okay.
Joy, can I say? I'm really tempted right now.
All right, so Toastmaster Sarika, we'll come back to you. We'll give you another picture, okay, since you're still thinking. So Toastmaster Misha, you want to
It's
get
the elephant in the room.
Absolutely, yes. That is correct. Would you please explain, Toastmaster Misha, what does it mean? Elephant in the room.
It's mostly referred to as which some matter or something which is pretty evident, but people actually choose not to notice or discuss it. So it's mostly used in the context. Let us not ignore the elephant in the room, or let us discuss about the elephant in the room.
Right, so something which is like really huge, big, complicated, but nobody wants to discuss it. Everyone wants to give it a miss, just like Sarika did. All right, so back to you, Toastmaster Sarika. Here's another picture for you.
Soar high. I know, I mean, it's...
No?
No.
Okay, maybe you could call out somebody else's name and they could give this a try.
Okay, let me call out Toastmaster Sudha.
Okay, so Toastmaster Sudha, your turn, please.
I was just too excited to answer the question, so I raised my hand. It's the catch-22 situation.
Totally, yes, the catch-22. So what does that mean? What is a catch-22?
So you are just poised at a point in your life where you are kind of confused as to which, what you should do, or what decision you should take, or where should you move, or kind of myriads of, possibilities which you can't pick up easily.
Totally, that's right. So a catch-22 was like, a dilemma. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? So that's a catch-22. So Toastmaster Sarika, we're not giving up on you yet. Can you come back on screen, please? You have to now guess the next one. Toastmaster Sarika. Okay, you're on mute, Toastmaster Sarika. This picture's for you. Come on.
Sorry, I'm on mute. Yes. After listening the phrase, I'm like, oh God, this was so simple. So this is a chicken and egg situation.
Okay, finally, you got this
Finally.
Okay, and what does it mean? What does the chicken and egg situation mean?
So it depends. So one thing is dependent on the other, and the other thing is dependent on the first one. So you just like, I mean, what came first, the chicken or the egg? It's the same thing, that in a situation at times we're just, it's so interdependent that you just can't figure out, that whom to start with. Yeah.
Okay, well done. Finally, Toastmaster Sarika. So yeah, the chicken and the egg situation is all about wondering which one is the cause, which one is the effect, what came first. So Toastmaster Sarika, if you can now pick another name, and if you could preferably pick a name from the UAE Advanced Team, please.
Okay. Yes.
Mumbai speakers, yeah.
Can I call upon Debjani, Toastmaster Debjani?
Toastmaster Devjani, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, this one's for you.
Giving blame to someone again and again.
Giving a blink, that's not exactly right. So I'm going to come back to you, Toastmaster Devjani, but I see a raised hand. Toastmaster Vishal, would you like to answer this, please?
Is it back to square one?
Yes, it is. Totally. It is back to square one. And could you also tell us what does it mean?
I believe it means you worked on a lot of things and again, nothing has worked out. So you're just back to the start and have to start all over again.
That's right. So you kind of circle back
Yep.
to where you started. Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. That is correct. Coming back to Toastmaster Devjani, here's another try for you. So Toastmaster Devjani, we're not giving up on you yet.
Toastmaster Shomo.
No. This one, you still have to answer, Toastmaster Devjani.
Oh,
You
I
have to-
see.
Yeah.
Forget about the pain and move ahead.
Wow. So I like the thought behind that, but it's not exactly that. Let's go ahead with, you call it Toastmaster Soumya, is it?
Yes.
Okay, so Toastmaster Soumya, would you like to take a crack at this?
Well, there are certain things which are my Achilles heel, and one of them is procrastination.
Well done, Toastmaster Soumya. This was like next level. Not only did he use the phrase, he also used it in a sentence as well. So this is what is popularly known as the Achilles heel. So Achilles heel is actually something like a vulnerable, your weakest point. That's what it means. Okay, so Toastmaster Soumya, could you pick the next person, please?
If I may request Toastmaster of the Day, Joy, since we are running a little bit behind schedule, can we just carry on with the proceedings? Thank you so much.
I get it. All right, so moving on then, we have the next part of our session today, which is about table topics. And to go ahead and lead that, we have Toastmaster Sandeep. He is an environmental engineer by profession, working with Jacobs Engineering Group in Dubai. He is a chartered water and environmental manager from UK. He likes contributing to society from whatever knowledge and experience he has got. Voluntarily, he is a passionate member of Toastmasters and Engineers Without Borders. He is a Toastmaster since 2013. Currently, he is volunteering as Area 37 Director. So Toastmaster Sandeep, since we're running against time, I'm going to just go ahead and skip the question that I had planned for you. And can you please take over with your table topics?
Sure. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Joy. That was wonderful introduction. Now, looking at your theme, you have rolled it really well. Fantastic job. Now, coming to my role, table topics master. So, for the benefit of guests, we have only few guests, I guess. So, table topics is nothing but impromptu speaking. So, speaking on your feet. And then, just to give you one example, why do we really need to show this skill? The reason behind that is in our life, we have to speak on our feet, think on our feet. For example, if we are in elevator, instead of talking about elevator pitch, if we have, say, a CEO or MD of our company, and we have got that chance to speak for 1 minute or two, or if that CEO is asking some questions and we have to answer quickly, then this skill comes into picture. That helps us a lot. So there are now in Toastmasters, how we improve that is by sharing our thoughts on that topic. There are different ways. Either do like a pendulum, give pros and cons, and then share our thoughts, or straight come to the point. This is what I think. Is it positive or negative? And then give some examples and go little bit deep into that. And then summarize. So I got some simple topics related to public speaking. Let me share my screen. And let me know once you are able to see my screen. Are you? TMoD? Yep, fantastic. Now, when I shared my screen, I'm not able to see raise hands and all. So I would like to request someone or volunteers from the audience and unmute themselves and then come on the stage. So I see one raised hand from Toastmaster Vikram Rao. So Toastmaster Vikram Rao, I got 10 topics today. Which number would you like to choose? Toastmaster
I would
Vikram.
like.
Yeah.
I would like to go with number 3.
3. Can you please switch on your video as well? That would be good. Yeah. So Toastmaster Vikram Rao, the topic is a sense of humor is essential. A sense of humor is essential. Over to you, Toastmaster Vikram.
Sorry, what I have to say on this, because
you can talk in favor of or against the topic, or you can share your thoughts about it.
sense of humor. Sorry, I'm not able to recollect myself on this topic right now.
Right. That's fine. Maybe we can give it another try. So I see Toastmaster Devjani has raised her hand. So yeah, Toastmaster Devjani, would you like to give a try? A sense of humor is essential. A sense of humor is essential, Toastmaster Devjani.
Good morning, Table Topic Master and all my friends over here today in this joint Toastmasters meet. This quote is so apt for all of our life. I'm trying to bring that every day, although in my speech, in my lifestyle, in my living, but sometimes I'm lacking in that and learning every day. One touch of humor can ease our stress, anxiety so fast. I can tell you, in the classroom, the moment I enter, sometime I'll see the observer sitting at the back and the palpitation begins within my tummy, the butterflies I can feel. I try to just throw some sentences or some words just for my children to giggle so that we all can smile for some time, forget about that who is sitting there going to judge me, just move ahead with the flow of the day. It happens sometimes at home when children will not score good marks, or I cannot cook properly, or there will be misunderstandings between each and everyone within home, outside. But it creates a lot of distance between people the moment I crack a joke or trying to say something out of the box, which can bring some humor into that conversation. People tend to forget that. It happens with me on daily basis, even in school, even in front of the supervisor. I can ease the situation by cracking a joke or just change the topic by bringing one humor into our conversation. So that's why I'm telling you, fellow Toastmasters, try to bring a touch of humor every time in your speeches or whatever role play you get in the table, in the Toastmaster, or the role play of your life. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Devjani. I would like to add a little story. So when I sometimes if the situation is little bit difficult, instead of basically asking, say, for example, if I'm calling someone, hello, Toastmaster Fatima, instead of asking, how are you? I say, who are you? And then she says, you what? And then basically the conversation goes on. and then I said, oh, sorry, I mean to say, how are you? And then, yes, the situation can get normalized. Thank you very much. So I see. So Vikram, would you like to try again? I think you might have got the idea now. Toastmaster Vikram?
Yes, I got the idea about this. And I have one incident, means not an incident with me, but I have
No, I can give you another topic then. Don't worry.
Okay, all
so,
right.
So now which number would you like to choose?
I would like to go with 6.
Good. So number 6 is, have you ever hurt anyone with your tone instead of words? Have you ever hurt anyone with your tone instead of your words? Over to you, Toastmaster Vikram.
Yes, I have, but though I'm a straightforward guy, so I don't hesitate to criticize. So sometimes it didn't work with few peoples, and sometimes it had worked, but it depends upon the person who taking things in a manner. So if person is taking that in a right way, they will work on that and rebuild themselves. If person is not taking that in a sporty way, it gonna hurt them. So it totally depends upon the person who is taking that thing, in which manner it is taken.
Right, that's good. Thanks, Toastmaster Vikram.
So sorry, by the way, this is my first day, so I'm not that much comfortable. I would
nothing to sorry. No, we all are learning. So don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So you are a Condor person. Fantastic.
Thank you.
I see Toastmaster Alvin has raised his hand. Toastmaster Alvin, would you like to choose the number?
Any number would do, but let me go by number 1 only.
1, okay. Dead men tell no tales. Dead men tell no tales. Toastmaster Alvin.
Okay. So this is a phrase now which I have to explain. Hello, Toastmasters from UAE and Mumbai. Dead men tell no tales. People who perform are the ones who have stories to tell. People who take responsibilities, people who take initiatives in life would have a lot of things to tell, or there may be other people who would be wanting to tell, or there would be something about that those people to really tell of stories or tell of examples or to relate about something. If you have not done anything in life, you will have only complaints, and there would be nothing specifically to be told or to tell. So in all, it is, if you're taking the responsibility and you're taking the lead, you're thinking, as one of the topics was, thinking out of the box. So that is life, that is activeness that you're showing. So that, in my sense, would be dead men tell no tale, whereas active people, a live person has many things to say or to display. Back to you, table topic master Sandeep.
Well tried, Toastmaster Alvin. Fantastic. So I see raised hand from Toastmaster Glenn. So Toastmaster Glenn, which number would you like to choose?
Let's go with 7.
Right. So your topic is, talking to someone and talking with someone are two different activities. Talking to someone and talking with someone are two different activities. Over to you, Toastmaster Glenn.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. Good morning, UAE and Mumbai. Talking to someone and talking with someone are definitely two different activities. I think it's more in lines with the way you say, right? Active listening. So whether you're actually paying attention to the person that you're talking to, you could appear to be talking with someone, but you could be on the phone, right? And you're merely just appearing that you're paying attention to the person. Just like normally when you would have a conversation with someone you typically don't want to have a conversation with, or you're a part of a meeting that you really don't want to be attending, right? The other one is talking with someone. On those lines, I think you're engaged in that particular conversation. You're actively putting your views across, and you want to make a point, right? So I think those are the two differences when you're looking at talking with someone and just being a part of a particular activity. So thank you, and over to you, Table Topic Master.
Well taken, Toastmaster Glenn. So now let me call upon Toastmaster Karthik Kharche. So Toastmaster Karthik Kharche.
Hello, I was just about to raise my hand because
That's good.
I was feeling
So-
like invisible man.
Yes. Or the Miss India. Oh, sorry,
Yes.
Mr. India.
So let's go
which-
with 5.
Yeah, okay. So your topic is, who has been the most influential person in your life and why? Who has been the most influential person in your life and why? Toastmaster Karthik.
So there is no only one single person who is influential in my life, and I think not for me. Everyone has a not just one but many more influential person in their life. Like currently, the most influential person in my life is Elon Musk, because I'm seeing him growing his $1 billion company like Tesla, SpaceX, and Boring Company, and all these companies. He is simultaneously building those companies to the revenue of billions of dollars, hundred and billions of dollars. And I'm here sitting. I couldn't do like 2 or 3 tasks at the same time. Like he is influencing me to take a part in the different or not just one but different activities, like get this done or improve yourself to get the all the things done like current. So this is Elon Musk is quite influential for me now. Thank
That's
you.
good. Yep. Thank you, Toastmaster Karthik. Timer, do we have time for at least another topic?
Yes, we can go for this last topic.
Right. I would like to, if no one has raised hand, then I would like to request Toastmaster Rishikesh Kanolkar.
Hello.
Toastmaster Rishikesh, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So which number would you like to choose from the deck of 10?
4.
4. So your topic is Toastmaster Rishikesh. The more we communicate, the less we really say. The more we communicate, the less we really say. Toastmaster Rishikesh.
Just give me a second. Okay. So it's like we often say that the best communicator are the people who are the best listeners, rather than those people who are more engaged into conversations. So the more we communicate, the less we listen. So it's like the persons who are more engaged into the conversation, they keep on speaking, and as a matter of fact, they feel like their speaking is like they are more engaging, and that's why sometimes they even bring some lie, also means telling something lie also, to make sure that they are particularly handling the conversation. But the best people, the better is that the people who are active listeners are the people who are I can say the better communicators. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Right. Good try, Toastmaster Rishikesh. I guess with this, I will have to hand over the lecture back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Joy.
Thank you, Table Topics Master Sandeep. And that was a good mix of questions for the table topics. Now, before we move on to the final session, can I request the whistleblower timer, Toastmaster Vishal, to let us know who among the table topic speakers make the cut today?
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Joy. So Toastmaster Debjani took 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Toastmaster, or rather guest Vikram took 51 seconds. Toastmaster Alvin took 1 minute 33 seconds. Toastmaster Glenn took 1 minute and 13 seconds. Toastmaster Karthik took 1 minute and 3 seconds. And Toastmaster Rishikesh took 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Okay, wonderful.
And I believe just in the interest of time, I think we are slightly behind, so we may need to go to the next third session sooner rather than
Right
later.
away, we're doing that right away. Thank you. Why do
Thank
I feel
you.
like Chris Rock today? This is like Toastmaster timer Vishal apparently happened to be the second Will Smith. I get the point. All right, moving on to our final session. We have General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster KL Nagarajan. All right, so date of birth, 5th June, 1957. Zodiac,
the link is there.
Scorpio.
Sorry. The link, voting link is there.
Okay, and the voting link be put up? Is it already put up on the chat window? Yes. Can everyone go ahead and please take the vote? And we'll go ahead and time them for what Toastmaster timer Vishal. Can we give them like a few seconds? 10 seconds. All right, so I believe that is done. Moving on again, back to our distinguished Toastmaster. He is the general evaluator. In other words, he is going to burst your bubble today. All right, so KL Natarajan, date of birth, 5th June, 1957, Zodiac, Scorpio, origin Chennai, resident of UAE since 1981. Member of Sharjah Toastmasters from 1st Jan 2005, past Division K Director, received DTM Award in 2017, now retired and watching all Tamil serials at home. Toastmasters has taught him to never stop learning, so he is learning cooking from his maid, L1 completed. He is a master in bringing humor and has been a pillar of strength and support for UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club. Distinguished Toastmaster Nagarajan, before I hand over the podium to you, whether we have time or not, I'm still going ahead and asking you the one question that I have. Are you ready, Master Nagarajan?
I'm ready since 10 o'clock.
Oh, wonderful. That's awesome. So you are learning cooking from your maid, L1 completed. So the question, Toastmaster Nagarajan, is what's cooking? And what does L5 look like?
This is between two of us.
We'll keep it that way if you want.
So actually speaking, I never entered the kitchen until retirement. So only now I am forced to enter, learn one by one. She has taught me on weekdays, small things. Now, slowly she's teaching me how to help her in the how make chapati and chutney and all. That's why I said L1 completed. Now, she said, don't take another path. Now continue the same L1, she said.
Wonderful. You can be surprised by the kind of things that pique your curiosity, right? So well done. Thank you, Toastmaster Nagarajan, and it's over to you right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Joy. Today we are all in joy due to the joy being the TMoD. So super. Being the general evaluator, yes, I got some responsibilities and also as per the agenda. Now my team is consisting of the 4 evaluators, timers, grammarians, all are ready. Without much waste of time, as they said, several phrases were used for this. He says, one of them is, let us not boil the ocean on this now. I hope it is apt now, what Priya said. So I would like our evaluators to be get ready for one by one. The first evaluator is going to be Speaker 1, Speaker 2. I will open my, yes. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Karthik Sankhe. The evaluator is our UAE Advanced Toastmaster member, Toastmaster Devjani, who is ready with their feedback. Toastmaster Devjani, are you ready? Switch on your mic.
Yes, very much.
Yeah. So I am now handing over to you to evaluate to Toastmaster Karthik Sankhe's speech. Back to you.
Good morning, everyone, and a special good morning to my 21-year-old sweet little charming, handsome Karthik. Karthik's parents, he mentioned, gave him the root of responsibility and the wings of independence. And I know because of that reason, he took the most important step in his life, and that is joining Toastmasters. Right, Karthik? Yes. Karthik's speech was, what was that? Yes. I could relate. It was a condor, completely. Lot of good values, quotes you have mentioned in your speech. I'm not going to repeat it again and again because those are the mool mantras of our life, and grammarian is sitting there to refer all these points. What I learned being a parent today from your speech, your icebreaker, is we generally worry a lot with our children's mistake, and that we need to overcome. Being a parent, that let go, let them do the mistakes, let them score worse marks, but gradually with their mistake, they are going to learn something better in the life, as you have learned and conquered so many things in your life, right? So it was really a treat for all the listeners today, and especially who are the parents always worrying for the mistake of their children. And as you quoted really well, that we all learn through our mistakes. And what I want to convey to you, that the way you won our heart with every, means what are the good points, like you are a person, a child who grew up and achieved so many things in life, but you never forgot to show your respect, your love and gratitude towards your parents. So for all your success, you have given the compliment to your father, mother, everyone. Although the teachers, they were worrying about and panicking about your misbehaviors and all, and later on how much they felt proud about you. 2 areas or 3 areas of improvement I would like to recommend. Little bit some areas, if you can give some voice modulation, like what is going on to happen, little lower your voice. Then maturity is not by age, but comes through your experience. More depict that clear clarity in your voice. Then try to become student of the year. Alas, I failed, like that somewhere. So in a nutshell, if you want to make your recipe more tastier, because you know a recipe is a story that ends with a good meal, and to make that would like areas, what I observed today, you excelled at clarity, gestures, audience awareness, comfort level, and good ending by throwing a question. You may work on to better eye contact and pause, voice modulation, add some more humor to challenge yourself. All the best to you, Toastmasters Karthik. You have taken a very good decision by joining Toastmasters, waiting eagerly to listen from you more and more speeches. Over to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devjani. Thank you. Well done. Candid views expressed. I hope the speaker will take, and in case you need furthermore or one-to-one, you can be in touch with her. She'll be helpful to you. Now, my second evaluator, who is going to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Mehek, is Toastmaster DTM Srivalsan, one of the charter members of Advanced Toastmasters Club. Besides, he gave birth to many clubs in Sharjah and Northern Emirates. So, one experience, Master Mehek. Back to DTM Srivalsan.
Thank you, DTM Nagarajan. Good morning once again, or good afternoon, almost going to be in India now. Fellow Toastmasters and Toastmaster Mehek. Wow. Don't eat right was your topic. And what an apt speech, you know. The thing is, when you started your speech, I was feeling very, very worried. I don't know whether I had already taken 3,600 calories today morning, my breakfast, a Sunday heavy breakfast, almost like a brunch. And eat right is what he was telling. So it's a very apt topic. And I say the purpose of the speech is to do a well-researched speech. And if you ask me, you have done a good research on the topic. Now, I want to say what you did very well in your speech, which is basically the speech value, because any speech has to deliver some message. The message you are given to all of us, actually, especially the elderly people, when I look at our tummy, you eat right. And in the current trend, it's very, very important that everybody order more than what they want. They eat with tongue more than the stomach and hunger. So it's apt for everybody. That's a good selection of topic. Your preparation was very natural and very sincere in your approach. First of all, Ramadan Kareem to you. You're fasting, I'm sure. And then still you did so well talking about food and not feeling hungry. It's very difficult, actually. So you did well on that, Mehek, actually. You had solid control on that. There was powerful pauses. You spoke every time from the McDonald's story to your reason why people are eating well. When you bring out the Nestle example and the calorie intake, each time there was a good pauses, which is very, very good and important for any good speaker. Actually, the comment on language, I say, is very simple and straightforward, easy to understand, which is very important for any speaker because you are conveying some messages and it has to be natural and clear. So what I really like in your speech is the message, the clarity, the thought process, and the flow of thoughts, and the topic. Now, if you ask me what I should suggest you to improve your speeches, in any speech, it we can make it more powerful when you add some personal story. Why? Because personal stories can bring emotions. That was missing in your speech. So emotions makes always, will connect with the audience. Actually, emotion can bring the connection with the audience. And also the purpose, powerful closing, it will give you a powerful closing. So I felt that the closing was not that powerful with such a good topic. All in all, but you did a wonderful job, actually. For your research topic, it was a very apt topic and very well done, actually. So all in all the best, well done, fantastic and confident speaker you are. You always did well. Try to bring in emotion and personal stories, which will definitely add more value to your speech. All the very best, Toastmaster Mehek.
Well, thank you, DTM Srivasan. Thank you. I don't know whether it is by coincidence or arranged one. The evaluator is also from food and beverages section. So, apt evaluation, apt evaluator for this speech. Well done. Now we'll move to our third speaker, evaluator. Third speaker is Yuvraj Karche, and he delivered a speech of presentation mastery and all. The evaluator is also from UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club, my good old friend and my mentor too for all my activities. So a very eloquent thinker. He will always be out of the box, I know sometimes. So today it is day to give a valuable feedback to speaker Yuvraj Karche. Back to you, DTM Jayashwet.
Hi. Greetings again, and special greetings to the Yuvraj Karche, my target speaker. Speaker started with the story of a passionate director who at his bedtime posted one of the fourth project precisely. And then he was successful enough or fortunate enough in finding the coaching or the guidance from one of his fraternity that ultimately made him a killing in the form of an endless, timeless blockbuster. After this story, he waited upon the mentorship program in Toastmasters, and then how fortunate he was finding the mentors in the form of two mentors, the mentors duo within the Toastmasters. He then outlined the three key or the fundamental attributes, all starting with is in conformity with his topic, the topic of the speech, all these things, and the stories around those three is. But the most important remark that he made that in mentorship, or in mentorship, the relationship with the mentorship, it's a wrong notion that the mentor plays a dominant role, but it's the mentee has to do a lot of work by taking the ownership of own growth and the development, the golden words. While experiencing his, or while experiencing as a prodigy within the Toastmaster bracket, it was interesting to know about his Toastmasters experience, but in order to be a little bit more aligned with the objectives, I would have liked he had started with how visionary the Toastmaster program is, that it is stressing or it is laying the significance or importance on the mentorship program, because mentorship programs is required in every aspect of life. And after that background, if he had cited or narrated the story of his experience as a protege outside the Toastmaster domain, then it would have been more interesting thing to know, because in Toastmasters, we know how the mentor-mentee relationship goes. Some clear-cut examples outside the Toastmasters domain would have made his entire thing more interesting and more involving for us. Having said, a full marks to you, Yuvraj Khalche, when you say that successful mentoring is not showing the, or not showing the right path as much as showing how to walk your own. And also, fantastic lines when in your ending, the mentor should not see their mentees as their image, but they should create help in creating his own personality, the mentee's personality. Overall, fantastic job. Over to you.
Thank you, DTMJ Shwet. Thank you. Now we'll move to our fourth speaker. We all know the evaluator is your own president, very well known. Not much of introduction, but our introduction needs her. She is your president of the Mumbai Toastmasters Club. Besides, I've seen her table topics and few evaluations at our UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club a couple of months ago. She even participated in our club contest too. Well done. Today, she is going to evaluate our another EA speaker, Priya Ramachandran. Yes, it's a tough, challenging job. Normally, when Priya is speaking, we don't do evaluation because later we will be evaluated by her. So today, it is your day and take it on. Back to you, Toastmaster Sudha.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator DTM Nagarajan, for that honorable introduction. I really appreciate it. So good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I was endowed with the responsibility to evaluate such an energetic, well-versed communicator in implementing and delivering a communication plan. Wow. Yes, I had a tough job on my hands. So worry is a rocking chair. It will give you something to do, but it won't get you anywhere. That is the message which the speaker had to want to communicate to all of us. And how did she do it? With a beautiful introduction. An introduction which is fully charged up with all the questions, and the way she was narrating the words one after another with the anxiety. She was actually getting us charged to want to know what is she going to talk about. Yes, she did get us worried. Worrying saga of a mother. That was another hook for the audience because we related to every aspect of that experience. We all worry about our children. How are they going to go to school? Who's going to hold them when they fall? What are they going to eat? How are they going to wash their hands? Are they going to come across somebody who's got cold and they will come back with the virus, and many more. But she also ended up with a question that It doesn't matter. Today, her daughter is already in a well-employed job. Did it matter that she worried about her performance in history, geography, maths, science? She made a link to the question, the worry, and the answer. Beautifully done. Also, she narrated her experience of worrying and then visit to the doctor, and her herself being probably a patient of varicose vein, antidepressant, anxiety, and all that. And a message at the end of it. Is it really worth it? Basically, I feel that it was a very important message for all of us to stop worrying, because she also had a tongue twister with the question, just trying to say, if things are not in our control, why worry? If things are in our control, then do something about it. That was also a beautiful message which she conveyed to all of us. So in already a well-drafted, well-articulated speech, what is it that I can recommend to her to maybe improve it to a level that Toastmasters wanted to be? So the objectives of the speech was definitely about talking about the process of her developing a communication plan and sharing the part of the process of it. In the Toastmasters concept, I feel that she should have probably shared a little bit more about what the communication plan was. Yes, it was about worrying, less worrying, and maybe getting your mind in control. But as far as Toastmasters objectives, maybe she should have done a little bit more on that topic. But otherwise, a great speech, and wish you all the best, Priya. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Well done. Overall, my team, 4 evaluators, have done the job in line with the objectives outlined in the Toastmasters International magazine. And I hope my speakers too will take well home the messages or recommendations, whatever they're given. Now, may I request the timer to give the report, please?
Sure.
Toastmaster Vishal.
Yes, thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Devjani took 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Toastmaster Shri Valsan took 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Toastmaster Jayesh took 3 minutes and 28 seconds. And Toastmaster Sudha took 3 minutes and 29 seconds. And all the 4 evaluators have qualified. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. Now, may I request our word master, one of my team members whom you all know, one of the active members in the UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club. Besides, she is very active in our area, division, club, contests, everywhere. Very dedicated member and housewife to our president, our past president and current area director, Sandeep Kinge. And today she took the role of the word master. Candor. Can we have the candor views and your report, please? Toastmaster Priya.
Thank you so much, DTM Nagarajan. Let's go to the report first. Toastmaster Darshan used it once. Toastmaster Devjani used the word thrice. Toastmaster KL Nagarajan used the word thrice. Toastmaster Soumya used the word once. Toastmaster Karthik Sankhe used word once. Toastmaster Jayesh used once. Toastmaster Mehek used once. Toastmaster Sudha used twice. Toastmaster Priya Ramachandran used once. Toastmaster Vishal Mehta used once. Toastmaster Joy used once. Toastmaster Sandeep used once. And myself, I used thrice while making the sentences and once while handing it over. So in total, it has been used 17 times in this meeting. And I'm glad wherever possible, people try to use the word throughout the meeting. And the last thing I would like to answer to the Toastmaster of the day's question to me. I'm sorry I couldn't make it that time because for me, speaking impromptu is like putting socks on a chicken. That's why it always happens with me. And I agree with Toastmaster Nagarajan that he always praises me because I had never said no to him for any role. I just want to learn, and that's why I'm here. And my answer to another question from Toastmaster of the day. Yes, most of the cosmetics are like a lipstick on a pig, as in manner of speaking, they have been designed to fit people. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Well done. Thank you. Just for the benefit of all our members and guests who are on the screen today, the contribution of the King families to the Toastmasters community is candor, I would say. Very much. Their husband and wife, their cousins, many of the relatives have joined Toastmasters after she came into the UAE Advanced Toastmasters. So we are really thankful to you and gratitude expressing that you made Toastmasters proud of you. Well done. Now, I would ask my grammarian and accountant who has been sitting quietly and watching how many people have made how many grammatical errors. You can give your candor report, except me.
All right. Thank you, DTM Nagarajan sir. Well, today I am supposed to take the notes of ahs and used in today's meeting, as well as some good usage or poor usage of language. So on our counter front, TMoD Joy used it 4 times. I'll be just going through it quickly. Because I think the grammarian report is more important. So Sandeep used it once, Vishal used it 4 times, 4 hours. Darshan, myself, used it 4 times. There was no ahs or in Priya's speech, commendable. Karthik used it 2 times, Karthik Sankya, I mean. Mehek had some and ands and all, like 6 times. Glenn used it 3 times. And Srivalsan used DTM Srivalsan used it 6 times. The word was the filler used by him. Now going to the more important topic, which is grammarian. I have realized that I've basically broken down this grammarian report in 2 parts. The first part is like the usage of phrases or sentences. Like, for example, I'll give you some examples. Like, it failed miserable. It should have been failed miserably, right? And one statement was, it reduces your life to 1/4. I thought she meant it reduces your life by 1/4. To and by basically changes the meaning altogether. Yeah. And some of the words, like I would also like to, the second part of my grammarian report is on the diction that we use. Yeah, diction, sometimes I feel we have some influence basically based on our background on the pronunciation of some of the words, which we should try and improve. And some of those words, I've noted it down, are like meeting. I thought that was meeting. Okay. Some words like drawing. It should be drawing, right? Step. It should be step. Tastier. It should be tastier. Something like that. So we should try and focus on speaking the right word whenever we are trying to speak that, and just be conscious of what we are speaking, and we should not miss anything. As part of my grammarian report, I also would like to tell that sometimes while we use these incorrect words or incorrect diction in a rush to finish a sentence, just let's not try to rush to finish a sentence. Just speak it consciously and calmly, and I think we can let these all such diction errors go away. So that was the report from my end. GE Nagarajan sir, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shah, for your open and frank report on the grammarians one. Well done. Now we have come to this level. Now, as a GE, what I should do?
Sir, voting link.
Okay, still you want voting? Yes, go ahead. Please. Already their voting link is there. I think they have done it already. The evaluators was done. I did it about a couple of minutes ago.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Today's meeting, it's a joint meeting, isn't it? Yes. I always love to have collaboration, partnership, joint venture. I just, timer, just I may be taking little more time because since we already overshoot and then I know I understand. Maybe. We all know what is Maruti Udyog, the Maruti cars in India. This company was started in 1981. The year I left India to UAE for my job. Until 2002 or 2003, Maruti was operating independently. Later, it joined in collaboration with Maruti Suzuki. It became one of the known and best automobile companies in Southeast Asia region because of its collaboration and partnership. You can call it joint venture too. It always goes up when we have joined hands with other people. We learn from others and both sides get benefited. Maruti got the benefit of technical knowledge and engineering expertise. Suzuki got the market share. Today, UAE Advance joined hands with the Mumbai Toastmasters Club to improve and learn from Mumbai Toastmasters too. No doubt. Today we have learned a lot. Although we overshoot the time, never mind. Sometimes we have to sacrifice by our lunch or something because we are learning. That's why we come here. We learn in the moments of enjoyment. Today we have learned. For that, I thank both the executive committee of UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club as well as Mumbai Toastmasters Club for giving this opportunity for them. Almost 35 people joined together. After a long time, I'm seeing 35 on the Zoom, except the contest time in a club meeting. Wonderful people. That's why it is very, very happy to see so many faces and so many stalwarts, people with the experienced giving their feedback and speeches. Wonderful. Team, today's TMoD. Is like, I think you are all blessed to have such a gentleman and learning. He is like a Shakespeare for you, I am telling you. Learning, sir. I openly admit, today learned your phrases and idioms. And wow, the way in which you put the slides. Everybody was eager to know what next, what is going to come next. Can I switch on my video or switch off my video? People are thinking. Couple of people just send me the messages. Nagarajan, don't call me for anything. I may be called because even normal words I'm struggling in the phrases and all I have not heard in my 20 years time. So I was waiting and praying that, okay, couple of phrases I know, but some of them I don't know really, but I learned it today. Definitely, if I go to any smaller clubs or any newly chartered clubs, I will give this advice to them to engage with the audience and make sure that they also come back. This is why Toastmasters is a learning environment. We have to come together to learn. It is not that listening to the same old speeches with the pomp and prizes being given. Yes. Wonderful, sir. You have made this meeting wonderful and memorable one for all of us, both sides. That's why you call a high band meeting. I like that first time I heard the high band meeting. Yes. Rank and file. Synergetic meeting. Wow. I don't know how many words I have to use now. Colorful, mysterious, down to the bush. First time I heard only round the bush only, down the bush. Now I have to use this in my Toastmasters meetings regularly. Down the bush. Wonderful.
Please do not use down the bush because that phrase does not exist. It's going around the bush, which means going in circles. So going
only you know it is not in the dictionary. Nobody knows in the Toastmasters.
That is also true.
It will just create some questions in the mind of the listener if you use down the bush.
Yes. If at all somebody comes back, I'll give you your number. Contact the Mumbai Toastmasters Club. Now, the speeches, yes, wonderfully prepared in line with the objectives have been called for and they delivered it. And all of them are taken enough practice and put their own efforts. This is called prepared speeches session. That's why they call it. You prepared it, you come and delivered it. Wonderful. Equally, openly candor evaluation by the 4 speakers. So not much of the thing, what they say. Grammarian, yes, you have done the role. What best we can do, we say recommendations wise. What I would say is, I was thinking simply, maybe your sergeant at arms or my sergeant at arms and all should have displayed the respective club banners. Probably. Because, and a new member comes or just comes, they will not know which club, who is having this meeting. Is it UAE Advanced Toastmaster? Unless you come and say. So this was suggested by my mentor in one of the India Club meetings when we had last year. He says, please display your UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club banner, as well as, because they were displaying their banners. So he suggested, probably for these two, our sergeant at arms or our president can have the backdrop as our club, and your sergeant at arms can have your backdrop as your club banner, so that we'll all be knowing. Also, my division PR always used to make a flyer. If there is any joint meeting, he used to have the flyer, joint meeting flyer, so that the same will be used by all the members present there, or at least most of them, which makes something different from other clubs. And also the Zoom meeting will have some out of the box thinking. Other than that, I have not much to say, but it is one of those meetings where it is very much valued. It is 2 hours and 20 minutes we sat. We have learned something. We are going to take home the messages of the joy, what he said about in a manner of speaking. So many ways in which he used the language skills and also phrases and idioms. Definitely, at least we'll all keep 1 or 2 phrases or idioms and 1 or 2 language skills. What he displayed today will be in our minds. Well done, Toastmaster Joy. You have made this meeting a memorable one for both the clubs. Toastmaster, Table Topics Master, Sandeep Kinge. Yes, he is also one of our ardent supporter and pillar of the UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club. Use simple topics. That's why I liked it. You don't have to think and then philosophically give some answers, nothing. You made it very well, simply, and made everybody to answer the questions. Other than that, what I want to say, so far, I think I have also exceeded 7 to 8 minutes have come for me. So wonderful meeting. And I wish that we will have such meeting at least once in quarter or once in 4 months to exchange, like how Maruti got benefited. Let UAE Advanced Toastmasters also will get some benefits from the UAE Mumbai Advanced Toastmasters Club, Mumbai Toastmasters Club, and maybe inshallah, some of our members may join your members too. You will also get a benefit, like how Suzuki got the benefit of the market share. I wish you good luck to both the clubs. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me. Inshallah. Ramadan Kareem. Back to you, TMoD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nagarajan. I was actually feeling bad and responsible for having stretched the time today, but your words, you are like a soothsayer. So thank you for making me feel less responsible for overshooting the time. All right, so moving on to end this session, to bring it to a close, we have Toastmaster Soumya, who is also the presiding officer. He is the current president of UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club. He's also the club growth director in Division J. To him, Toastmasters is more than just a platform for honing your communication and leadership skills. It is the meeting ground of like-minded individuals to foster lifelong friendship and association. So over to you, Toastmaster Soumya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Joy. Well, very well said by my colleague Priya. Joyful jabs by Joy. Now, it suddenly struck me. I don't know whether it has struck you. Doesn't Joy resemble Shankar Mahadevan? Yeah, I was feeling like listening to Breathless. The stage is Wankhede Stadium. Virender Sehwag and Sachin Tendulkar is in the crease with Virender opening. We have the Rawalpindi Express bowling in and Viru Dada smashing 4 of the deliveries for 4s and 6s. That's all what I can say about the Shankar Mahadevan of today. And thoroughly impressed by the professionals in which Toastmaster Walter opened the setting, brilliantly bang on time, handing over the baton to our presiding officer, and then the flow of events, and then everything. Obviously, Naganna has amplified our learnings, and I completely agree and support. Now, just to give you a background of how it started off, this was the seed planted by Toastmaster Sudha, right? She wanted both the clubs to come together. And I was a little apprehensive because we wanted to prepare ourselves before getting into the scheme of things. We took a little bit of time, but finally it happened. And I'm so thankful that it happened because there's so much of learning and takeaway that we are taking away from today's session. Yeah. So bravo, Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club. And sincere thanks to all the silent role players. The Toastmaster Vishal has a very calming and benign presence, being our conscience keeper, the speakers and all of them. To all the UAE advanced role players, obviously, the Mumbai speakers may not know that the speaker Toastmaster Yuraj, the couple of A's that he was referring to is none other than my Sandeep Bhai and Priya Thai, the two pillars of UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club. Congratulations to all the role players, brilliantly done. Now, quickly, my arms of providence, if you can share the winners for today. So whichever format you want to start off, and I'll just read it out. Okay, the best speaker of today's session, Toastmaster Priya Ramachandran. Oh, what a thunderous presentation. Heartiest congratulations, Priya. Let's move on to our next winner. Best table topic speaker, Toastmaster Glenn Smith, all the way from Borivali in Mumbai. Well, that was a guess. I don't know where he lives, but it's Mumbai for sure. And the best evaluator is none other than the person who brought us together, Toastmaster Sudha Warrior. Heartiest congratulations. Now, just to give you the importance this meeting had, we had two of our very old members joining in after a long period of time. And that was Toastmaster Praveen and DTM Rasita. Are you still there? No, I don't think that. If there's any guests still around, we just wanted to have a feedback. Vikram, I guess, is a guest.
Yes.
Vikram, can you open your video and your audio and share what was your feel and what was your takeaway from today's session?
Yes, I have learned lot, not lot, but yes, I want to be a good speaker like I had heard Priya Ramchandran who have presented themselves today. And yes, it is a learning process, so it's lot to learn from now onwards. And it is, I think so, the sir from UAE mentioned that this collaboration won't, it is not regularly, and being a guest on this meeting is like a warming welcome. That's all from my side, and I hope I will continue this and learn from all you guys.
Thank you so much, Vikram. Yes, a great platform, and you obviously have Mumbai speakers at your doorstep to knock. Anybody else? Is Rushikesh Mumbai speakers member? Rushikesh Khanolkar?
Yes,
Yes.
he's a Toastmaster. He's
Oh,
a Toastmaster.
okay, okay. Now, whom else can we ask for? I mean, Ritik has been one of the mainstays of today's session with being the Zoom master. Ritik, what was your feel?
To be honest, it was an exchange of knowledge and information among two clubs. And I saw a little difference in the UAE club and the Mumbai speakers. And we got some really good inputs from you guys. So we'll take them in our club. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritik.
The collaboration.
Well, with the pass vested in the presiding officer, I declare this meeting closed